So the student is saying she kept asking you to return her bracelet and you kept brushing her off.
It was just a rough patch. Her hours were cut short.
She's 5 years old. Virginia Vellatorez.
Your Honor, this is a sentencing and we have one witness.
Okay. Who's the prosecutor on this case? Court is calling 2023 CR 0290 State versus Virginia Vellatorez. Can I have parties announced for the record? State. Defense.
Your Honor, good morning. Frankie Sandoval on behalf of Ms. Vellatorez.
And are you Ms. Vellatorez? All right, I'm going to need you to keep your voice up so that I can hear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You entered a plea on October 3rd of no contest. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court deferred finding of guilt. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 16 months in the state jail facility. Oh, I'm so sorry. There are no applications in this case.
Not in this case, Your Honor.
All right. So the court did find that there was sufficient evidence at that time to find you guilty, and the court found you guilty. So according to the plea bargain agreement, punishments be assessed at a cap of 16 months in the state jail facility. This is the run concurrent with County Court Cause number 70040, 70039. There's to be restitution to Kimberly Inaosa at Cash American Pond, and restitution to complainants in County Court Cause number 70040 and 70039. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State.
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report? State. Yes.
If I understood you correctly, you said that this case would run concurrent with the county court cases, is that correct?
Yes, that's what's in the,
And yet on page 2, paragraph 4, custodial information, it says to be taken into consideration with instant office.
all right. So then that's an issue with the PSI report, because according to you, to parties' plea bargain agreement, it's to run concurrent. So it's not to be taken in consideration.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right, unless y'all decide to change it and say you would like it taken in consideration.
Your Honor, the agreement was to run concurrent. We had the misdemeanors.
All right, so state, any other objections to the PSI report?
None of which I am aware at this time, Your Honor.
Defense, any objections to the PSI report?
No, Judge.
Any objections to the TAP evaluation? State.
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any objections?
No, Your Honor, only a point of clarification with respect to motivation. In my discussions throughout my representation, Ms. Vellatorez, her goal is to better her life and is motivated in doing so. She's not an expert with respect to treatment and recovery that may be available or diagnosis. So if what may have appeared to be a lack of motivation was not her intent.
All right, and you have witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may call your first witness.
I'd like to call Ms. Angelina Torres.
Angelina Torres, if you'll come forward, please. Hello. Good morning. All right, if you can raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so I can hear and the court reporter can hear.
Okay.
All right, if you'll state your name for the record.
Angelina Torres.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Torres, how are you related to Ms. Virginia Vellatorez?
She's my mom.
I'm sorry?
She's my mom.
So you've known her all your life?
Yes.
You understand and appreciate the fact that she is here facing sentencing on a serious felony matter? What kind of mom has she been?
My mom goes, yo.
sorry, above and beyond. My mom worked 2 jobs. She started working at UTSA. She's been a supervisor there for 2.5 years. We started college and she started another job just in case I need to pay for my school.
And would it be fair to say that there has been some time between the occurrences that gave rise to this case and now? That some time has gone by? It's been a long period.
Excuse me, everyone, we're on the record. I'm going to need you to whisper. All right, and I'm going to need you to keep your voice up because it's difficult for the court reporter to hear.
Okay.
All right. Are you able to hear? Okay.
Yes, Judge.
All right, you may continue.
Is it safe to say it's been a long period of time that from the time of these cases to the time of her arrest in September?
Yes, it has been a long period.
And during that period of time, what sort of work has your mom been doing and what sort of assistance to her family does she provide?
I'm sorry.
Is she a hard worker?
Yes, my mom is a hard worker. She was going from 11 o'clock in the morning to 11:30 at night. Sometimes she'll stay even till 2 o'clock in the morning for late nights.
And because there's been this long gap between the occurrences and her arrest, as far as you know, there have been no other arrests, no other problems.
Yes, there has not been any other arrests or problems.
Now, you understand that your mom took responsibility for this once everything came to light and accepted a plea bargain which calls for a maximum of 16 months.
Yes.
That maximum is up to the judge. If you had a request to make of Judge Boyd with respect to the range of punishment, would you ask for her to set the range of punishment at the lower end or the higher end for your mom?
The lower end.
And why would that be?
My mom's not a trouble person. My mom goes above and beyond. Like I said, her thing is she likes to help people when she's struggling as well.
And this is such out of the ordinary, what occurred. Do you have any explanation for why there may have been this schism or this, what may have triggered this negative activity on your mom's part?
So not that I could be.
Okay, because it's out of her character.
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much for coming in. You can call your next witness.
Your Honor, she's my only witness. I just have argument on behalf of Ms. Bellatori.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
16 months, Your Honor.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, if the court would consider, if I may, Your Honor, 16 months would not be adequate punishment. I'm going to say that again, would not be adequate punishment for Ms. Bellatori. And that is from her words to me. When she read what Ms. Gaitan's daughter said about still having memories of her teacher taking her bracelet, stealing her bracelet, it cut Ms. Bellatori, it pained her like a knife to the bone. She's the internal punishment that she is putting herself through for allowing the financial difficulties that COVID brought around during that time to trigger her doing these acts is one that she's still recovering from. However, Your Honor, confinement in the interest of justice for 16 months wouldn't serve justice in the sense that there is much, as you've heard from Ms. Torres's daughter and from the pre-sentence investigation, contribution that Ms. Torres can make to society. She's a good worker, worked multiple jobs, had elevated positions in multiple jobs, had this one, albeit big hiccup, but it's one that she's been paying the price for. She's been, during the time of, between the occurrence and her arrest, she had been checking on, trying to see what the status was. It's not for lack of responsibility that this matter has prolonged as long as it has. She carries this with her and will carry it with her as a crime of moral turpitude for the rest of her life. And again, especially with the words of that young child, it is one that, as she's explained to me, when she closes her eyes, it pains her and will continue to pain her, more likely than not, Your Honor, for the rest of her life.
All right, so this is what the court does not understand, and maybe your client can address these issues, because I'm trying to make a determination on what her sentence should be. But according to the police reports and the stipulation, this is not the first time that she's taken, a bracelet or a charm from a student.
Well, would you mind putting Ms. Vela-Torres under oath, Your Honor?
Sure. Can you raise your right hand? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you're gonna need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you'll state your name for the record.
Virginia Vela-Torres.
All right, so according to the stipulations, this is not the first time you've taken a bracelet or a charm from a student. And this student says that they were in the restroom washing their hands and that you took their bracelet, I'm assuming so it wouldn't get wet. And then they asked you to return the bracelet to them, and you continued, according to the student, brushing them off, wouldn't return the bracelet. So the student goes home to their parent, and their parent is, where's this James Avery bracelet? And then they say, you took it and you wouldn't return it. And then there's this big thing where you called into the office and they say that you broke down crying, saying that you didn't take the bracelet. And of course, they have videos everywhere. They show this student going into the restroom and they say it's plain to see that she had her bracelet. And then they show you going into the restroom. And then she comes out and they say they see the student drinking from a water fountain, and that student no longer has her bracelet. And so the student is saying she kept asking you to return her bracelet and you kept brushing her off. And then there is someone else, according to the stipulations, that they're saying you also took their child's charm. So explain.
It was just a rough patch during COVID. Our hours were cut short. I wasn't working very many hours. My husband's disabled, gets a monthly check. Just to make ends meet, I found it easy to do that.
But then it's like, how old was this child? All right, she's 5 years old. You're an adult, and she's saying that she wants her bracelet back. And you're just telling her you're not giving it back to her. I don't understand at what point in your mind would you have been thinking, maybe you would have been like, oh my gosh, I really need to return this bracelet to her. But you just,
I was at the time, but
you just kept brushing off a 5-year-old. What did you think was going to happen? Her family was going to think that she lost the bracelet and probably punish her for losing the bracelet while you have taken her bracelet and then pawned it?
I just figured they would think, they would just
You
lost.
just figured what?
They would just assume she had lost it.
And then people would think that, you know what, we're not going to get her any bracelets anymore because she's not ready to have a bracelet because she's constantly losing items. And then at some point you would think that maybe your conscience would click in when you see the little girl comes there and they're there with their mother and they're accusing you of taking the bracelet. Then you went to the crying part saying you didn't take it. Was that all acting on your part, the crying, I didn't take
No, I
it?
just didn't know how to admit that I had found it.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
Did you find yourself, Ms. Vela-Torres, just for clarification to the court, did you find yourself having crossed a bridge that you did not know how to get back across?
Yes, I did.
And if you had had the knowledge or the insight or the foresight as how to correct it, would you have done so?
Yes, sir, I would have.
But by this time, it was just the
Yeah.
bridge too far had been taken.
Yes, I didn't have enough time to be able to get it back out and return it. Like find a way to say I found it while cleaning, or it was in toys or in between something and return it. I didn't have enough time.
And as you've described to me, this is a punishment that you're dealing with, and it almost with every breath that you're taking.
Yes, because being a childcare provider or teacher was my passion for my career. And because of the stupidity that I did, I can never go back to that career again.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
All right, any questions, State?
No,
All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 16 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. This is run concurrent with 70040, 70039, restitution, if any, to Kimberly and Osa, and also the Cash America Pond. And there's to be no employment as a child care provider. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? And did you understand it?
Yes,
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
yes,
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Once you do something and you start being deceptive about it, there more lies follow and more lies and more lies. And pretty soon everything is spiral out of control. In this case, you had so many opportunities to stop. When she was asking you for her bracelet back, you should have just gave it back to her instead of calculating in your mind, you know what? This family bought her this James Avery bracelet. They're not going to miss it. They have enough money. And then that still didn't stop you. Then you start calculating in your mind, her family's going to think that she's irresponsible. Let them think she's irresponsible. And then they won't give her any more jewelry. Because do you know how that felt for her? You're an adult. You're in a position of power. You're supposed to be trustworthy. Now, who knows? Maybe she's not going to trust teachers anymore. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks for watching. Stick around longer and click the highlighted videos to your right. See you there.